The government recently commenced consultation with industry stakeholders regarding the educational pathway for financial advisors. Maria Lykouras is with me to discuss the implications of this development. Hi, Maria. Thanks for joining me.
Hi, Darren. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Now, this move by the government is something that the whole industry has been wanting for quite a while. But let's wind it back. Let's start by reflecting on what the flaws of the current system are.
Yeah, great. Under the current education standard, all new entrants are required to complete an approved financial planning qualification, whether they're providing financial planning advice or not. This approach is extremely restrictive and actually deters many prospective entrants, especially if they've already completed a degree. Qualifications such as commerce and economics degrees are not recognized. And this is a really high barrier to entry and has actually made it really challenging for the industry to attract the best and brightest from the top universities. So these candidates are currently required to incur significant cost and time to complete an approved additional degree to enter the industry. And what's even worse is that the numbers enrolling in these approved degrees has been really low. And 6 qualifying courses were discontinued last year for this reason. So this has resulted in a collapsed pipeline for new talent.
Yeah, I can imagine it's not working
Mm.
very well. So, in light of that, what are the new proposals?
Yeah. So the new standard that's come out has 3 requirements. The first is that each new entrant must have completed a bachelor's degree or higher. So this means that all financial advisors will have a university degree. Secondly, they have to complete 4 financial concept subjects covered by a broad range of different disciplines. This includes economics, accounting, investments, finance, superannuation and retirement planning, and commercial law. And they can rely on subjects they probably have already completed as part of their degree to satisfy this requirement. So it gives our new entrants, and particularly our career changers, greater flexibility by recognizing more of their pre-existing degree courses. And then thirdly, all new entrants will have to complete 4 accredited financial advice subjects that are approved by the minister.
Okay, that sounds really good. Uh, what are your thoughts as to how they will benefit the financial advice profession from here on in?
Personally, I think they will have a significant benefit. So the requirement to hold a degree confirms the value of tertiary education inherent in having earned a degree. And that degree is just the first step in becoming a fully qualified financial advisor. So the ability to rely on subjects they've completed already to satisfy the financial concept requirements also gives greater flexibility by recognizing their completed degree courses. This is going to save considerable time and money. Now, the requirement to complete those 4 accredited courses also simplifies and clarifies the standard, and that means that all new entrants will commence their career with the same baseline level of knowledge. And as you would know, Darren, we have long advocated for reform to streamline these education standards to attract more new entrants and to encourage other professionals to transition into the field to improve the availability of affordable, quality financial advice for Australian consumers. So SIA believes that the implementation of these proposals is critical to improve the number and quality of new entrants into the advice profession.
Okay, now the advice gap has been something that's been discussed for a long time across Australian society, really. Do you see these changes helping close that gap so that more Australians can receive affordable financial advice?
Yeah, well, I really hope so. So, unfortunately, these rigid education settings have contributed to a critical shortage of financial advisors. In the last 7 years, the number of financial advisors has almost halved, while at the same time, the demand for financial advice has skyrocketed. From a high of almost 29,000 financial advisors at the start of 2019, numbers have reduced to just a little more than 15,000. We've lost nearly half of them in that time. And there is a large and growing advice gap in Australia. In its 2025 financial advice report, Investment Trends found that a massive 15.9 million Australians have unmet advice needs, and 1.3 million are planning to see an advisor in the next 2 years. So this shrinking pool of advisors takes place at the same time as baby boomers come into superannuation, and a 3.5 trillion wealth transfer is going to occur over the next 2 decades. So these reforms will significantly benefit our ability to expand the availability of high quality, trusted financial advice for Australians, while creating a more sustainable pathway for new advisors to enter the profession. So generally, it's going to reduce those barriers into entry without lowering the quality of the advice that we provide. It's going to ensure financial advice continues to develop into a career of choice by introducing flexibility. And lastly, it's going to ensure that profession is sustainable with enough advisors to provide that advice that many Australians need.
Well, that's great, Maria. Let's hope some of those results will be achieved by those changes. Now, pivoting over to a slightly different topic, you're the new CEO of the Stockbrokers and Investment Advisors Association, and its conference for 2026 is coming up in May. So, what are some of the highlights event attendees will experience?
Thanks for asking about the conference, Darren. I'm actually really excited considering that I'm new into the role and to have that opportunity to engage with all our attendees in May. So our conference this year will be a jam-packed 2 days of topical discussions. Sessions will cover a range of topics, including cybersecurity, digital assets, digital and technology enabled advice, the future of platforms, women in investment, asset class discussions, and much more. We've also got interesting new sessions, including a session on how businesses can minimize financial abuse, a fire drill scenario supported by the regulator IRS ASX and a market participant, an Ask ASX session open to our attendees to ask what's on their minds, and an interview with our regulator, Simone Constant. And look out for research insight papers on the current view and current state of our industry, as well as a new educational tool that we'll be showcasing for launch in July. And lastly, we've got more sponsors than ever supporting the conference, proving that it's a time when the industry needs to connect more than ever and have important conversations.
Wow, sounds like a busy but fulfilling 2 days. Thanks for sharing those thoughts with us, Maria.
Thank you so much.
The Stockbrokers and Investment Advisors Association 2026 conference is taking place in Melbourne, spanning the 19th and the 20th of May. To find out more and register for the event, please refer to the details you can see on screen now. Well, thanks again for your time today, Maria, and I'm sure everybody's looking forward to the conference.
Great. Thank you, Darren, so much. Thanks for the opportunity to talk about these important education standards and to showcase the conference for us. Great to be here.